Hello, and welcome to a very, very special episode of the Teenage Club podcast. It's been a little bit. It's been a little bit since our last one, but we decided to come back for a very special Halloween episode. And this special so special because we have a lovely man, Raggy Wes Brown here.
Mr. Wes Brown.
How are you doing, Wes?
He's a real treasure.
I'm making Halloween noises to spice up the intro, but I guess I'm here. Hi, everybody. I don't know what episode this is.
This is technically number 2, but this is our 3rd episode. So
yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, wow! You went on quite a hiatus.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
Our friend Wes here, he's a fellow podcaster. He's a wonderful man.
I waited so long to come on this one, I decided I'd just start my own. So.
Yeah, no, we saw that.
We talked about that. We talked about that earlier. We were worried about it.
No. I'm so happy to be here because you guys, I loved listening to the first 1 episodes. I don't know how many technically you're counting, but yeah, oh man. It was great.
We did the same thing as you. We started at 0. And we were going up by 1s and 2s.
Yeah, you get a 1 episode buffer to just mess up as much as possible.
Pretty much,
exactly.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
All other slip ups in the future are just completely unexcusable.
Yeah.
Inexcusable.
So are we pros at this, Lucas? Now you think?
What was that?
Are we pros at this now?
Yeah, I think our production has gone up significantly.
Yeah,
you have a studio in LA.
Yeah, this is our real studio.
Yeah.
This is the Teenage Club Studios here in beautiful
walls.
Shoreline, Washington.
Here in Teenage Club, USA.
Yeah.
We actually registered our own town. It's pretty small.
Population 2.
It's in the middle of Wyoming. Not much here.
Yeah.
Not much here.
Lots of quiet, I bet.
Oh, yeah, it's very quiet. Get a
Good
great
place to get away.
podcast environment.
So anyway, Wes, I guess we can start out this episode here. Just maybe taking 30 seconds and just kind of letting everyone know what you're all about.
I'm so sorry. What? Do I want to drink? Does it look like I want to drink, Brandon? I'm sitting at my desk here trying to record this podcast.
My desk?
And yeah, okay, all right, it's your desk. Like you don't hang out in my room 24/7. Get out of here. No, I don't want to hear it. Just close the door. This is my room now.
My desk?
Jesus Christ. What can a person do to get some quiet around here? Oh my.
So Wes, what's your drink of choice?
Sorry. My drink of choice is a nice calming tea, obviously.
Oh, that sounds great.
No.
So what I was...
No. My drink of choice, sorry, to bring things back on track. Sorry to explode on my roommate there. It's all jokes.
You're all good.
My drink of choice would probably be... Oh, shoot. This is interesting.
You can go a lot of different directions with this.
You could go a lot of different directions. Like, is it your go-to drink out of a bunch of drinks? Or if you could only have one drink for the rest of all time, then what would it be? Like, that's a complicated one.
You're allowed to add any, sticklings in there. You can add any variables if you want. Just trying to get the most out of you.
Yeah. Honestly, like, apple cider probably would be my go-to if it was the only drink I could have for the rest of my life. Like a good old Martinelli's apple cider, probably. Because it's sweet and it doesn't have any I don't know, like pokey tastes to it, like it like orange juice is kind of like a controversial drink because it's like acidic, right? But you got the apple juice and it's always like, you can rely on it. It's like good old Uncle Joe.
I agree with that. It's a very non-offensive drink, especially that Martinelli's, the big one that comes in a wine bottle, basically.
Yeah. Why the heck do you got to save that for Thanksgiving? Like, what? Don't save that for Thanksgiving. Drink that shit all year round.
Yeah, when I'm an adult and I'm living on my own, that's going to be like the go-to at the grocery store.
Yeah. It's
Bring
the
one
same thing.
of those puppies home.
It's the same thing as mashed potatoes. People just save it for Thanksgiving and Christmas. Why? It's so good. Why not have mashed potato? Why can't it be like a breakfast cereal?
You
I'm in
know?
complete agreement.
Mashed potatoes. You could get your scrambled eggs, your toast, your cereal, your orange juice, your milk, and your mashed potatoes all at the table.
Honestly,
And
like,
eat it just every morning.
yeah, I mean, I've never thought of like mashed potatoes like going with breakfast, but now that you like say it and put it in perspective, it like actually that's like sounds like a really good idea. I don't know.
Well, no, yeah. I mean, how many times do you think where you're just sitting there and you're like, oh man, I'm so hungry, but I don't know what I want to eat? How many times would you think you would say yes to a big steaming bowl of mashed potatoes?
Trying to calculate the odds on that.
Case in point.
Yep.
I know even the people listening are like, God damn, he's right.
We know people do come to our podcast for our wonderful food advice and, conversation.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Very insightful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, what I was going to say before you kind of exploded
Went
on
off
your
on that
roommate.
tangent.
Yeah. No, I like really.
I saw an opportunity and I took it to just go all out on him.
Yeah. No, it was a good.
We need as much content as possible,
But,
so
Yeah.
keep it coming.
Anyway, no, I was just saying, like, just take 30 seconds or so and just kind of introduce, like, I guess,
That's a
who
good
you
tip.
are and, like, what you stand for and, like, just
Oh, God.
just tell us about yourself, really.
Okay. What do you stand for? My name's Wes Brown. I am a college student in the circumstances of COVID, which is interesting. I used to go to your high school. I used to rule the world. I don't know the rest of the lyrics to that song, but that was really not funny. But
We can cut that out. Don't worry.
no, keep it all in. Keep it all in.
This is
Step
I got
No.
cards on the table.
No,
We
Ed.
got everything in.
Nothing's getting cut out today. I like making people laugh. I like cracking jokes. I like joking about anything. I consider myself an all-around goofy guy. So that's why. In another note, I haven't been able to find a job at all. So I'm not sure why, but I guess I should stop joking about the interviewer's mother every time I come in.
So what's the college life like? Because you kind of got into it. You're 1 year ahead of us, basically. So you got into it, and you kind of got into that life
Hopefully I keep
right
it that
as
way.
we were starting. So starting with our quarantine.
Yeah,
So,
it's college life. Honestly, isn't so bad. There's a few things that really suck about it. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting because COVID is such an interesting issue to a lot of people here, and for a lot of people, it's a non-issue. A lot of people don't care about it at all. But there's a lot of people you meet at college who are they preach a lot about COVID being this really big issue to them that they are very afraid of, and I think it's something definitely to fear. But these same people who say it's something that's very creates much fear for them in their lives, then you go around and you see them on like social media posting about all the big dorm room parties that they're going to at the same time. So it's just, there's a lot of people here who are putting on kind of a facade of what they do being different than what they say. So that's.
I'm sorry.
No. That's kind of all I can think about for that. Other than that, I have some roommates that I stay with, and they're all right, except for a few that may or may not be in this room with me. Yeah. No, but they're great, and they're like a whole new group of friends that I get to always hang out with. I have like a family unit that I always just get to hang out with and not have to worry about masks or anything because we all live together.
Right.
And but outside of that, it's you still have to wear your mask and have proper safety precautions. But I'm so glad that I have just a group of friends I can hang out with all day if I want to.
Well, that's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And remind us again, where are you going to college?
I'm at a Pace University up in upstate New York, just about 30 miles or so outside of the city, I think.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice because you get to go to the city whenever the heck you want, but it's kind of reminiscent of Seattle up there. Because it rains quite often during the wintertime, and it's got a lot of foliage, a lot of trees, and a lot of beautiful nature to explore, which is good. So you get the balance of the city life when you want to have it, but you also get a very low-stakes kind of environment to study in. So that's cool. There's a pretty big campus here to explore. I do a lot of skateboarding. I do a lot of it. Oh my gosh, I skateboard every day with my roommates. It's kind of our thing now, which is cool.
Is that the ultimate form of transportation around campus?
Around campus, yeah, more or less. It's pretty well paved here. I never expected to call my college well paved, but you can't really complain about the roads here.
That's good. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Were you worried at all about it going online? Or just like doing online school at all, starting off with your first year of college?
It's pretty much all online anyways.
I see.
Yeah, you're at the college, but you're taking online school, so it kind of feels like what the hell am I here for? But there's a few classes that help to be on campus for, because like for film classes, because I'm majoring in film, you get to rent out equipment and do a bunch of that kind of stuff. Or in some classes, you can come in to the classroom and everyone's spaced apart, about 6 people in the classroom, and the professor is talking behind like a glass sheet. It's kind of crazy because of how safety conscious it is, but it works and it keeps people safe. But you take a step back and think about what you'd be seeing in a year. It's just a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh. Isaac, Isaac, I think I've interrupted you like twice now. What were you
saying?
No,
I wasn't going to say anything.
Okay.
What were you going to say, Isaac?
Yeah, Isaac.
I wasn't.
You're the fellow podcast host here. So I think you should.
Should I lead in? Should I lead in with another question?
Yeah, lead in with another question.
Okay. So, right, like you were saying,
So, anyways, in college, I was.
Oh God. Okay.
Actually, the ranking of hierarchy on this podcast goes by, microphone quality. So the person with the best microphone is automatically the best person here.
I don't know how good my microphone is. So
it sounds all right, actually.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, that's good. I was worried about that because I've had a few of my podcasts end up with just like dial-up modem quality sound from my end.
That was kind of
our second podcast.
Yeah.
Our first podcast was much better, but our second podcast we had we basically just recorded, like our guest Elijah recorded on his phone, and I recorded on an open laptop without a real mic.
Oh, that's what I'm on.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's just overall it's just not great.
What, you got a problem with open laptops with no mics on them?
Yeah, I'm not saying anything. Not saying anything bad or positive.
Lucas like
shoved
his cheese.
You better check yourself, buddy.
Okay, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm the one who invested money into this. I bought a nice microphone. Which sounds
okay.
Sounds
different. My podcast is better than Wes' podcast. I put money into my podcast.
We're just saying we've dumped thousands of dollars into advertising this thing.
You have your LA
flop.
studio. I get it. Okay, so Isaac.
Okay.
What?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Isaac, go ahead.
What is your astounding question?
Okay.
I'm so prepared to be blown away.
All right. My question is, so, the last... You mentioned that you had graduated from the same school we went to, right? And and a lot of people know you. I would say this is just kind of my reasoning of it, but a lot of people would say they know you from like the theater and stuff. And,
yeah, sure.
And my question for you is like
Can I have an autograph?
Yeah, no, that was going to take time. You had to wait 5 minutes for me to keep talking, and I was going to segue into that, but, immersion road. Anyway, so, sorry, I lost my train of thought there.
No, I'm sorry for interrupting.
Nah, you're so you're in a lot of big parts and stuff in the plays and stuff, and my question for you is, have you ever just it's like the big night, right? Have you ever just not wanted to do it? Okay, I could just hide in my car, I could drive on I-5, just go north, head for the border, Have you ever had that feeling before?
Well, interesting. That's an interesting question. First of all, I wouldn't say I'd hide in my car. I'd probably hide on my bike because I didn't have a car then. So I guess you could say I'd hide in my bike. Yeah,
that is true.
That's a good question. I think no. I don't think I've ever not wanted to do it, and here's why. I think in high school there's a lot of stresses that are very upfront and very always on your mind. Like you go through your day a lot of the time just thinking about because it's a social environment and you're always you always are comparing yourself to others or there's judgments that are passed around, and it's very I don't know, chaotic kind of environment being in high school when there's 4 different age groups of people put together, all separated by 1 year. But I think in that program, what was so great was this idea that was preached religiously, that it was the performance itself and that space, either in rehearsals or whatnot, was an opportunity for everyone involved to kind of leave those really overbearing stresses of whatever caliber at the door and just focus on the task at hand. So to me, I followed that ideology and I used it as an escape and just as a time to goof off on stage for 2.5 hours with the people I adored the most in the world, and use it as a chance to just leave it at the door. I think that's the best term for it. It was so I guess to answer that, no, I never, there's never a night where I said, screw this. Even if I was having trouble with my part, whatever it was, like either lines or fear of messing up in the music, I would still say no every time to wanting to abandon it all, because it's such a great opportunity to fully sell yourself into something, which is something that is kind of hard to find in high school. So I feel lucky for having found something that I could do that with.
Do you think I struggled to, so like I was in the theater with you, Wes. You know, I wasn't doing big man. I wasn't an actor. I did my crew, and I think Isaac did a few things with us as well. But for me, one issue that I had was I had a little bit of trouble separating my passion for doing the best job possible. You know, my passion for trying to do the best work I can to perfect the art, basically, and living up to the expectations of not only the people around me, but the people I know that I need to work for, you know. So our theater director, you know, the people, you know, directly above and beside me that I need to do my parts for, to make sure everything goes smoothly. Do you think you have any advice for someone who's like has trouble separating, you know, they like if they're nervous about doing their part, it's not necessarily they're nervous because they don't want to do it or they have stage fright or something like that. It's more about they don't want to mess up or they don't want to, ruin the expectations of someone above them. How do you separate that, and how do you work through that?
That's tough. I think
this is a tough podcast.
Yeah, no, what the heck, man? I thought we were going to talk about baked beans the whole time.
Yeah, we're going to talk about baked beans.
We're getting there.
Yeah, that's question 3. I kind of absorbed that question, and so I'm just going to speak about the first thoughts that come into my head, and you're going to have to let me know if it kind of answers it.
Oh, yeah,
I think the best kind of mentor separates the performance of any kind, either technical or in theatrical terms, I guess, in terms of delivery or singing or stage tech. I think the best kind of mentor separates that from the value that the person has, right? Mm-hmm. Just as a human. And there's some people don't do it so well, but I think the best kind does that, and I think the best kind of mentee, if that's a word, understands that that's what they should expect from their mentor. I think that's interesting, yeah.
Because theater can be a pretty I don't know if divisive is the right word to describe it. But it seems to drag in a certain kind of person, and it seems to kind of other people who don't fit in there, but still are very eccentric people who want to do big roles and stuff. That doesn't seem to work for them. So it kind of, I think it might depend on the person, like who you are, and as a teenager going through.
Well,
life,
you should never be going in it for roles. That's the number one advice.
Oh yeah.
You should be doing it to be part of something. I think just outright.
No, and it's like I guess I've seen this. I've only been really, my involvement with the theater is like a couple of years ago. I just ushered for Beauty and the Beast when you guys did that, and and just kind of my impression for doing that was like. I don't know. It was really cool because I kind of got to see a bit of the behind the scenes to the play. I'd been to Shortcrest place before and stuff, but like I'd never. I don't know. It'd just be for that one night, and that would be it, right? Mm-hmm. But like now, it's like when I saw that and kind of saw like the behind the scenes, see like all the actors like get ready, and all the sound and stage people, prepare for that. I don't know. It just seemed like, everyone knew what they were doing, and it seems you were kind of describing like a kind of a stronger community between everyone there, and I really see that like looking from the outside in. So.
Oh yeah, it's a very special program. I think for its professional standards held by the leaders of the program. I think the key to any successful program is having professional standards like that. Not necessarily for performance, but as a community, and a little bit of performance standards, but professional standards of performance in terms of doing the best that you possibly can and giving the most to whatever it is that you're doing that you possibly can. And so I think when there's a universal understanding of that in a group of people, then the opportunity to excel is just massive. So it's definitely a very special program because of that. So I totally see how you could see that.
Yeah. Have you done anything else in college, like theater kind of things?
Not necessarily. I've started dipping my toes into some film projects. Not there's not much opportunity right now with COVID going on, but and I don't even know if film is the path for me. I almost I know in some capacity I want to continue doing theater in one way or another. I don't know if it's a career that I want. I don't know if it's just a hobby that I want to do, but I have a profound love for it. Performing on a stage with a group of very talented people, I think, is such a great privilege to have. So I want to keep doing that. I've considered doing stand-up comedy, kind of not available to do right now, except for seldom few places that are only taking the best of the best, like well-established comics right now. But I've looked at open mics in New York, and it's not very promising with all the COVID restrictions. I'd rather not stand in the street testing out jokes in front of people at risk of getting hit by a car because they got these wooden displays or wooden seating areas that they build. That's kind of like a shell around the people sitting outside. And in the city, there's not enough space for people to sit on the sidewalk, so they just jut it out into a parking spot on the street.
I didn't know that they're doing their performances like out in the open on the street.
Oh, some places are inside. The regulations are getting a bit lax in some areas, but there's a lot of rooftop performances. I think that's the most common.
Well, that'd be a pretty good way of doing it.
Yeah. So I'm just doing what I can. I'm writing down every idea that comes to my head. I keep a notebook. I write my notes on my iPhone, and one day I might come up with something that's worth people's time. So you never know, I guess. But I don't even know what we were talking about. I'm just kind of rambling.
That's this podcast. We ramble about stuff.
The rambling podcast.
Oh, speaking of rambling, you had the Ramble Cube, the Mr.
I
Andrew
did.
Edward on your podcast. How'd that go?
Oh, he's a lovely gentleman. Oh my goodness.
What did you guys talk about?
Well, if you want to find out, why don't you head on over to... You can click the link in my bio.
I will admit, I did listen for a little bit. I wanted to get like a piece of
okay.
It
was a really good time
before you came on our podcast.
Yeah.
Understand our competition.
I get it. It's very competitive business, the art of podcasting.
Of course.
Essentially just hitting record and spewing bullshit out of your mouth. Yeah, no, it was great. I love Andrew. He's a great guy. I always loved being around him and talking to him in high school, and I just knew he'd be a great guest to have on a podcast because I feel like he has so much to talk about. He's just always thinking and always asking questions. Yeah, great guy.
Yeah, Andrew's one of those people where, like, you kind of know, like, okay, this guy's going to do something with his life,
Yeah.
It's very promising.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's big.
Very driven.
Yeah. Very driven. Very, very driven. Oh. So, you guys talked about the Selective Service. I read the description of your podcast you did with
Yeah. Great job. Great job doing your research.
Oh, yeah.
Just reading the description.
Got to keep the production quality, up here.
We spent hours research.
Of course. Why didn't you read my Wikipedia page?
Oh, God damn it. So, Selective Service. I think, if you remember correctly, it was like food and
dude. What are you doing?
And/or food.
Are you out of material already for your podcast?
Pretty much, yeah. No, this is how it goes.
Talking about shit I said.
Okay, here's the thing. Me and Isaac discussed this earlier. I think what we need to do is we need to team up, and because we have two podcasts of technical former Shorecrest students.
Mm-hmm.
Generals, Seattle area youngins. Mm-hmm. And I think what would be best for us, since you are now a guest on our podcast, we'll talk about all sorts of things.
Oh, yeah.
And we need to be guests on a new episode of Save It for the Podcast.
Oh, of course. I'll have you guys on.
How do you think that'll differ, though? Do you think it'll just be the same?
Oh, it'll probably be very similar.
Do you think we can get away with just like recording for 2 hours this time instead of 1 hour, and then just like separating them and you upload the next one?
That's cheap. That's cheap.
Come on.
We don't cut corners.
It's called being efficient.
We don't cut corners.
It's being cheap. Oh my god, that's so funny.
No cutting corners.
Just an assembly line of podcasts.
Right. Well, that's how Joe Rogan does it. We gotta compete with the big boys in our lineup.
Well, one day we're definitely surpassing Joe Rogan, the most powerful interviewer on the planet.
We need to make a list of like podcasters that we need to surpass.
I think we're missing from our podcast, Lucas.
I'm calling it now. One day I'll be on Joe Rogan, and I'll show all you nitwits from back home.
God.
What are we missing, Isaac?
No, we're missing a Jamie, you know? Someone to pull up videos. We're also
usually podcasts are two people. You know, you got two, maybe three people. It could be a group of people because group discussions are always more interesting.
Yeah.
I don't even know how a person does it with just one person.
They just talk to themselves for an hour.
Oh, Bill Burr does that shit. Bill Burr is a great podcaster. He's got this. He does a Monday morning podcast where he just talks by himself for like an hour about just everything, and it's hilarious.
I can't even fathom that. Like, how do you do that?
He's amazing. He's amazing. I love Bill Burr. Bill Burr. Because I'm an aspiring comic, but I do my research on a lot of comics. I love watching stand-up comedy because I get to learn about it. But Bill Burr is just something else because he's so off the cuff with everything that he does that he could just sit down in a chair and talk for an hour, and it's like the caliber of a Netflix special, you know?
Yeah.
He's amazing. There's one of his most famous clips is him yelling at this Philadelphia crowd that he's standing in front of for like 11 minutes. He's at this stand-up comedy extravaganza in Philadelphia where a bunch of famous comics are together for like charity or something. And they're all doing like they go up and they do like 10 minutes and they just speak. They do whatever for 10 minutes and then they're off and then the next comic comes on. It's like an 8-hour show something. And Bill Burr is like one of the last dudes to come up and the crowd has been going crazy for hours, just booing people off the stage and just being absolutely awful. And Bill Burr just tears into these people. He comes up with every conceivable insult that you could say about Philadelphians, and it's hilarious. Half the crowd is booing, half the crowd is laughing their ass off, and it's just amazing. So if you like comedy and laughing your ass off and just it was recorded in like 2009 or something. But just look it up on YouTube, Bill Burr, Philadelphia, because this man's a genius. And yeah, I don't know why I just went on a tangent about Bill Burr, but I love that guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's definitely one of the best comedians of the time. You know, you imagine the list.
Oh yeah. No, my if I had to make a list, I'd say it's Dave Chappelle probably as the GOAT, obviously. George Carlin probably tied with him. Bill Burr, Pete Davidson, John Mulaney. John Mulaney's excellent too. He wrote on SNL, and he's just I can't believe him. You know, all these great comics. I don't know why I'm on. It's compliment hour with Wes Brown here, but. Yeah.
I noticed a little lack of David Letterman.
David Letterman's a great interviewer. Norm Macdonald and David Letterman have great chemistry. So they whenever they're on together, I bet anybody who's listening right now doesn't know what the fuck I'm talking about at all. Like, who are these old people you're talking about? Carlin, Letterman, McDonald. I ate there yesterday, man. What are you talking about?
We could talk about something more relatable.
Yeah. Vaping. No.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Sure, yeah.
Talk about...
Why not? I don't vape. I was just bringing it up because it was such a hot topic back in high school.
I can't believe it, man. It's still a hot topic, you know?
It's
going to go away.
I don't think it will. I think they really fucked up on the whole vaping thing.
Yeah.
We're going to stop smoking. It's all going to be okay after this one. Lo and behold, everyone and their mother's addicted to nicotine now.
I feel like so much has happened over the past few years that it kind of flew over everyone's head that God, you know, America just raised the age of smoking to 21. It's it's unanimous now. It's crazy.
Yeah, they raised the age of smoking to 21, but I mean, you got people as young as 12 and 13 or even younger in extreme cases who are using nicotine. So how effective are those regulations really? When you
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. It's more like, I don't know how effective a regulation like that can be.
Yeah.
To an extent.
I mean, there's always going to be people with fake IDs and you know, people always have their plugs or whatever.
Right.
So I don't know.
Yeah, if you're like an addict and stuff, like, you know, you're gonna want to like bypass like any, you know, it's just gonna like, if there's a law, it's just gonna make you go around it, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know what the proper way to tackle all that hoo-ha is.
I'm not a politician.
I know. I'll leave that to Andrew, man.
I mean,
he could probably think of a solution.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Andrew could be a politician. Don't you think?
Oh, he's definitely.
I think
that's not even a question.
He probably rules some third world country by now.
Yeah.
God,
he has access to like some sort of island somewhere.
Yeah.
You guys remember the clip where he like he called in to like national news and stuff?
Oh yeah, I do remember that. Do you remember that, Wes?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he posted about it somewhere.
Yeah, I think
I saw that.
I think he called into like MSNBC, I believe.
Wow.
And he got on. Guy. He was talking about what was he talking about? God, I've completely forgotten. It's some sort of legislation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Back to Andrew.
No, and
great
then,
guy.
And then like
nice guy.
The news anchor was just like, you know, he was a little condescending. He was just like, Andrew, did you take a civics class or something?
But no, he's just that man. He knows a lot about this stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of politics.
Oh, here we go.
Oh god.
We got 4 days, four big ones.
4 days until that election.
Yeah.
The big old election.
I just had my my brother on. I just recorded the next episode with my brother, and man, did it got political quick. Holy shit!
It's a topic that's really hard to avoid, you know.
Yeah. It's everything. It's everything. I almost wish there was a time where everything wasn't political like it is now. It's crazy.
There was a time.
So many people divided. It's like we're all human. Just try and get along without ripping each other's jugulars out.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to think about, but there was a time where you could turn on the news and nothing interesting was happening. And like nothing of importance.
Cars 2 was the most important thing on television.
Exactly.
That's the era I'm trying to go back to. And it wasn't even that good of a movie, which goes to show the time.
Exactly. It's been too long.
Been too long, man. Huh?
Oh, sorry. No, you go. You're the guest.
Oh, yeah. I'm the guest. I don't know. I just want to go back to when Go-Gurt was like, the hot thing, and that's all people were worried about is how much Go-Gurt they're eating.
Did you ever freeze the Go-Gurt?
Ooh.
I heard it was good. I've never done that.
That's worth it, man. It's really, really worth it.
I bet it is.
Because then you kind of get like an Otter Pop. Well, not like an Otter Pop. Usually like Otter Pops, kind of like a popsicle. Mm-hmm. But frozen yogurt is very good, no matter what, Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I love a good old froyo.
So good. Delicious.
So, Isaac.
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
You have a question for me?
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have any more questions for me?
We have a whole Google document.
We did spitball questions for this.
Oh, really? So. Okay.
You believe it or not, we actually had a plan.
Don't hold back on me. Okay. Come on, fellas.
So
okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's go through it.
Okay, so really, Wes, this was our first question, and I think maybe the most important question.
Okay.
What is the most emotional food?
Oh. Gummy bears.
Ooh.
Gummy bears.
No. I mean, I guess why I said gummy bears is like, it's such a comfort food. But then again, you feel so bad after you eat like 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't, that's a tough one. Man, you got me rethinking my whole life here.
It could be any emotion.
The most emotional food. Personally or universally?
I guess
I would say lean towards personally, yeah.
I'll go for universally. I'll say personally second, but universally, I think the most emotional food would probably be rice. Honestly, which is kind of a weird answer, but I think rice is such a simple food, and it goes with so many meals that I feel like people all around the world have a connection to rice. Like everyone could sit down and have a pleasant meal with a bowl of rice, you know?
Mm.
And it's very old food. It's a food that's connected to a lot of human history, I feel like. And it's like one of those, you know, good old reliable foods, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got the bread and wine from the birth of Jesus Christ, and you have the rice for the rest of American
From
history.
the birth of rice.
The birth of rice.
I
just said rice from the birth of American history. That's not true.
Yeah,
rice is much older than that.
In 1776, Jonathan Rice invented the beloved rice grain. And from there, he started a global empire. I think my personal most emotional food, I guess, would be flan, which is like this custardy kind of pastry, sweet condensed milk kind of dessert that my mom would used to make all the time when I was a kid. So that's probably a good one. That or guava paste, because that's another thing I had a lot when I was a kid. I would get the Goya like brick of guava paste, and I would cut it into little cubes. Then I'd eat it in a bowl of milk, which sounds disgusting, but I mean, don't knock it till you've tried it, buddy.
Yeah.
I have no idea what the guava paste is. What is that?
Oh, you'll find it on like every like back left corner shelf of the store.
Okay. Do I gotta go
just,
like a Whole Foods or like a PCC?
I think it's at like the one in Shoreline, the one at the town center, whatever it is now.
Oh, the Albertsons.
Albertsons, Hagen, whatever it is. I remember when it was that for a few years. Oh boy, what a mess. But it's just Goya guava paste. It's not too hard to spot. Big old block letters. Yeah, that's cool.
Might give it a try.
Yeah.
That was a good question.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Thank you. That was a good one.
That was our top one.
Keep them coming, Isaac. These are good. I don't remember that one, so I think you wrote that one.
Yeah.
What is your most emotional food, Lucas? Though I'm turning it to you. Because this is a question that I don't know. I want to know from you.
It's an interesting one. You have to think about it for a minute. You know what I think it is? I think my most emotional food is my favorite food, and it's like my comfort food. And my comfort food is tricolor rotini. Very specifically, that Barilla tricolor rotini.
What the heck is that?
You've never heard of that?
I know. The word rotini is very present in my mind, but I can't connect it to a physical food.
So a rotini is a spiral. That's the spiral pasta.
Oh,
like the longish spirals.
Oh snap, man! I know what you're talking about. You got the green, you got the orange,
green and the
you got
orange.
the yellow.
You got the green, orange, and yellow. You got those.
There you
tricolors,
go, man.
Have that with some
you can
butter
put
and
that
cheese.
with anything.
Or it could be simple. It could be butter and cheese, or it could be something like a bolognese, you know?
Man,
and that was the food I would eat a lot when I was growing up. So that makes it emotional.
You had a bougie-ass childhood.
It was baller, dude. I can't even...
Balling out on the tricolor rotini. I got the one-color rotini. Plain yellow.
Oh.
It's either that or angel hair.
Oh, angel hair is like up there as well. That's one of the best shapes.
Yeah, it's up there. It's up there.
Really just all Italian food. Good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm not a huge fan of ravioli though. I can't.
Really?
I know it's a little weird, but ravioli doesn't really do it for me. Can't really.
Yeah.
It's like a more.
I like tortellini. I'm a tortellini man. Tortellini is like it's better than ravioli. You get that nice cheese in there. It's just exquisite. So Isaac, I guess this question turns to you.
Yes.
What's your next question for me?
Okay.
Okay, I mean, what's your comfort food?
What's
Or
my
no, your
comfort
emotional food.
I mean,
Is it cheese pancakes?
No, it is not cheese pancakes, but that is up there.
You should talk
Those are
about
good.
those after that.
Have you ever had cheesy pancakes, Wes?
Fuck no.
No.
What?
Cheesy
Okay, it sounds really weird.
Describe
right?
a cheesy pancake.
Okay.
It's pretty self-explanatory.
So yeah, you basically you make the pancake, right, and it's on the griddle, right,
And instead of dough, you use cheese.
no, you still use the mix, right, and stuff, but you when it's on the griddle and stuff, and it's still like wet and stuff and moist, you like sprinkle like shredded cheese over it, right, so it like it'll bake into the pancake and stuff, right, and you know, it sounds like it tastes really weird, you know, but it's probably one of my favorite.
I could get down with that.
I don't know why it just brings out like just brings out the pancake.
The fire in you. You get fired up. You like throw a table over when you get the cheesy pancakes and you
and some maple syrup.
That was the part that made it weird for me.
Oh,
Like,
well, I
adding the
can
syrup on
actually
top?
get down with cheesy pancakes because I have a probably equally weird food that I used to eat that my dad showed me. It's called Swedish Toast.
Toast?
I think I've heard of that.
It sounds so completely weird and wrong and almost illegal when you think about it. It's toast, right? And you butter it up. You get your jam on there. You get it nice, ready to eat. And right before you put it in your mouth, you cover it with cheese, like sprinkle like Mexican cheese, like just that good sprinkle cheese, and it's surprisingly good. It's more of an acquired taste, I'd say, but it will fill you up. If you have like 2 or 3 of those, you'll be good for the rest of the day.
Huh? Swedish
It's
toast.
really good.
Swedish.
I would try it.
Okay.
Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of the judgment you'll face, because once you've tried it, you'll understand what kind of secret club you're in for the rest of your life, knowing that Swedish Toast is an option available for you whenever you're hungry.
Yeah.
No,
that goes on
so
the
wait,
list.
you're saying it's basically toast, but it has like the outside is coated in cheese.
It's like, like a cheesy pancake,
Mm-hmm.
but cheesy toast.
How do you pick it up without getting melted cheese all over your hands?
From the bottom.
Okay. I was thinking more this is like an open-faced sandwich with cheese all over it. That seems like it'd be kind of hard to eat, but...
No.
I see. So it's... Okay, I see now.
It's just like, it's layer on top of the toast. I mean, on top of the jam. So,
Isaac, you didn't say what your most emotional food was.
Okay.
Or was it cheesy
I know, it was not cheesy pancakes.
Wait, what?
This was a segue. that was an off. That was an
Cheesy
off
pancakes
rail
was a
move.
highway. It was a side.
That was the preliminary hearing that we just had?
Probably my most emotional food, and the build-up probably wasn't worth it, but it's just like a good old bowl spaghetti and meatballs. You got that tomato sauce.
You should have put that first, man. What a letdown.
But you put
What's your butt?
You put like the Parmesan over it. I don't know. It's just like my mom used to make that a lot, like you were saying. And it's just like it can go like with any kind of gathering. It's like with romantic and stuff, but it can also work for like a family gathering kind of thing.
Romantic.
Yeah.
What
That is
2000
an emotional
movie are
food.
you living in?
What?
I said, what 2000s movie are you living in?
I don't know. Maybe Big Daddy.
I guess spaghetti's romantic. It can be romantic.
Isaac, have you ever eaten a really big bowl of spaghetti and meatballs with your girlfriend and just like gotten the same noodle with the same mouth, and then you have to go?
We have not done that cliche yet. No.
Well, you have to do
but
that.
It's coming. It's gonna come.
It's on the way.
It's on the way.
You just have to wait for her to look away while you're eating, and you just have to find the longest noodle in your bowl and somehow slip it over to her bowl without it dangling too much or being obvious that it's connecting your two bowls. You're like, well, I guess we'll just have to.
Just the act of like slipping a noodle in that person's bowl. Just
Just really nonchalant, just throwing a really tall noodle into the other person's bowl.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can get away with that.
I don't. Yeah.
I don't even,
Do some like underhanded technique. Have them look away.
Yeah. Oh, what's that over there?
Right?
Hopefully not an extremely long noodle. Perchance, I would give a look.
What?
Yes. Yes.
That was quiet. Next question.
Next question.
Okay. Lucas, you asked the question now. It's your time.
Okay. Should I stick with the food theme or should I move on to
I say we move on from the food.
Okay.
We can do that.
Really just dig into his soul.
Really dig into it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Are you in crippling student debt, Wes?
Oh boy. You bet, yeah. I was yawning. Because it's almost 1:30 in the morning here. But yes, oh my God, am I going to be in crippling debt? It will be insane. I am the only one who will be paying for my college education, which is tough. And going to school in New York is probably not a good idea. Sometimes I consider the option of taking 2 years of community college being the better retroactive choice that I should have taken. But I'm here and I'm enjoying it, so I think I'm considering the amount of debt that I'm going to be in to be an investment in myself. It's kind of like I'm paying for a ticket for a great experience that I will get to look back on in life. So kind of viewing it that way doesn't put it so bad, but at the same time, it's a ridiculous amount of debt that shouldn't be had, I think. And I even have pretty good scholarships. I have pretty good scholarships at my school, but I'm ending up with a considerable amount that I'm going to have to pay back each year. And so that's got me thinking about getting an apartment for next year or considering other living options off campus. But I don't even know what I'm going to do next year because everything's up in the air.
Yeah.
But that's the big thing right now.
Yeah. I mean, as much fun as it is to go to college at the beginning of a pandemic, if financial debt is a problem for you, I would consider the opportunity of going to community college if you have a stable living situation right now, which is up in the air for a lot of people, including me. So
yeah.
I think I made the right choice of going to college, but it's something that's different for each person. So, I mean, people out there, especially you guys, because you're seniors.
Exactly.
Consider community college because it'll save you a lot of debt and hardship, and you'll get to stay around where you live, which is cool.
So both me and Isaac, we're seniors. Mm-hmm. We're in our college app process. And,
oh boy,
we have to think about all.
My
this
sympathy goes out to you.
It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
especially
it only gets worse from there. Welcome to adulthood, man.
Jesus.
But yeah, no, all of this college app stuff. It just kind of, I don't know. For me, it just appeared out of nowhere. It's just like, oh, we have to do, fill out the FAFSAs and stuff, and look for college, and it's just like, God, I'm not a child no more,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I feel like it would have been different if we were still in, physical school right now. Because we usually would have, classes in the library and we have meetings with our counselors and all that stuff on going through this stuff. And we don't really have that now. We're just kind of thrown into it.
Yeah, I feel for you, man. It's really sad. This is kind of what is the reality now, Your last year of high school just being all online.
Yeah.
I feel for you there. That's tough, man. I wish our country was better at handling these kinds of things, because then it wouldn't be an issue. But at the same time, that's a driving force to fucking vote. Please, dear God, vote. Oh my God, if you can use that vote of yours You better be using it, because I will sniff you out if you don't, and I will come over to wherever you live, and I will strangle you.
If we have any listeners over the age of 18, and you are a United States citizen, please go to register to vote. Just do it.
Oh, well, it's probably too late now.
It's probably too late. It's like 4 days.
If you're listening right now, I mean, I don't know when this is going out. If this is November 3rd.
This is going out tomorrow.
November 3rd or 4th, then you're shit out of luck, buddy. But if you didn't vote, man, you're going to regret it.
We're going to come to your house.
Yeah.
We know who listens to this podcast. We can go.
Yep.
We can find you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not impossible.
Yeah.
So
We will be tracking your IP, so at this point, if you don't have your VPN active, it's too late. We're already on our way.
Oh, man.
Well,
It kind of feels like a countdown, though. It's a countdown to just
Yeah,
total annihilation.
You never know. I cannot be certain of what the result will be.
No matter, it's a democratic process, and I'm gonna be mad if El Trumpo wins. It's a process, and if we didn't have that process, then it's not America.
I know. That gives me. Yeah, I have some issues.
We want to talk about Electoral College?
No, well, yeah, we could talk about the regular yada yada about the Electoral College and how there's problems with that. But what I don't get is it's complicated. It's complicated, but people who are for Trump, I think, or who were for Trump when he was elected, I can understand. But at this point, if you are still for him, I don't understand it, and I really want to know what your reasoning is. I guess because aside from his policy, you can differ in what policies you want. I think as a human being, he is not. If he's the best option, if he's the best that we can produce to be the leader of our country, then that is just sad. And I think we've lost the title of the best country in the world. I think if he's the best that we can produce.
It is a shame. I wish.
Yeah.
I really wish there was a very a respectable, very nice Republican that could come in.
Oh,
one
there
that did not
certainly
have
are.
a backstory.
There certainly are.
Someone who could get in the ranks of the
John McCain
GOP.
John McCain was one of them.
Yeah.
There's certainly plenty of others who are very decent and very honest human beings. I think a great issue of ours that we face right now is bipartisanism, or if that's a word, bipartisan politics. I talk about this a little bit in my episode of Let's Save It for the Podcast. But it's a great issue because we demonize people on the other side when really they're just normal people like us who have beliefs that they strongly believe are true, and they don't. Most of the time, they don't have evil intent. That they just have beliefs, and those beliefs should be respected, and those beliefs should be challenged as our own beliefs should be.
Exactly.
No, and I think the problem is with all that is I'm sure you've heard a lot of people talk about this, but it's people nowadays with Twitter and all that stuff, they're the ads and recommendations they get and stuff kind of help reinforce their belief systems now,
Yeah.
So people are pulled further and further, into their own bubbles. So it's they only see stuff they agree with, and so it pulls them further into their side, I guess. And
Yes, exactly. I mean, if you're using social media like Twitter or Instagram or even Snapchat, which I'm seeing now, which is just bonkers, to get your news, it's a self-serving kind of biased way to get your information about the world, and you really shouldn't be doing it. I deleted Twitter because I never used it in the first place, but it's just not the place for discussion. It's something that profits off of, or where people have posts that profit off of. I'm losing the word, but their posts profit off of like explosive kind of
Engagement,
big statements and engagements, and oh, you're evil, and no, you're evil, and you're a terrible person, and all this stuff. And it's not discussion about actual ideas that, or it's not a discussion of ideas that is worthwhile, because at the end of the day, nobody's going to end up agreeing with each other. I don't think I've seen any Twitter comment section end up with someone commenting, "Oh yeah, you know what, man, you're so right."
yeah,
You know, I never see that being the thing. You've completely changed my worldview, and just the string of comments on this obscure thread in this giant multimedia website.
yeah.
When you have that shield of anonymity on the internet, my God,
Yeah.
it just goes to shit instantly.
I mean, and I've even made crass statements on websites long ago in my past that, when I think about it, if that person was sitting in front of me, there's no way I would have said that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I would have gone about it completely different, and I think people are losing sight of that, which is causing this great divide. That feels like it's only going to end in civil war at this point.
Yeah,
it's also crazy how like. Oh, sorry, Isaac, you go.
No, I was just saying, especially, as it gets worse, like you were saying, you would never say it in real life, but like, as like things continue to divide and stuff, like, some people like would and stuff, you know what I mean? It's just getting worse and stuff. So people aren't like, treating each other with respect and like person, you got like, families and stuff who have different political beliefs who like, don't really speak to each other that much and stuff. And, it's just a whole mess.
It's crazy to think about how little time has passed before like social media was even like invented. Like 10 years ago, almost no one had a smartphone. And now it's like, 8 years ago, all the big social media companies went to mobile devices.
Yeah.
And then, it just feels like it's been decades since that.
10 years ago, my idea of a smartphone was a flip phone that I shared with my brother.
Oh, yes.
And it was this flip phone that was unbreakable in every way possible. We were sharing a bowl of soup one evening, and I dropped the phone in the bowl of soup somehow, and the phone still worked. I don't know how, but I was in shock, and I like left it. I couldn't find it for like 2 minutes, digging in this bowl of soup, it was like cloudy miso soup or something. And I finally found it, and it still worked. I was crazy. My brother wasn't too happy because it was sticky for a while, and the keys wouldn't really press well.
Oh God!
But he could still call his 6th grade girlfriend or whatever he did with it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's life, man.
Yeah,
that's how it goes.
Yeah, that's life.
Damn, it's been an hour.
Yeah.
We actually
really?
we did it. We've done it.
Yeah.
Wow.
We've reached the quota.
We have definitely reached the quota.
Well, okay, goodbye.
Oh, goodbye, guys. Well, I think that was a very successful episode.
Yeah,
we got that Halloween special.
Yeah,
Didn't really talk about Halloween stuff.
We didn't talk about anything related to Halloween other than the weird, spooky ghost noises I made at the beginning.
It's okay.
Yeah.
This can apply.
I can edit
anytime.
in some stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so no, I know how we can fix this. It's Halloween themed, because for the next 5 seconds, we're all just going to say Halloween over and over again. All right? Ready? Okay, 3, 2, 1. Halloween, Halloween,
Halloween, Halloween, Halloween.
Hey, Halloween.
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 I think
Halloween?
that's scary enough, right?
Halloween. There we go.
All right.
Halloween.
I scared everyone.
You didn't expect that coming.
No one did. No one could have
My
seen
God.
that coming. Okay, well, I appreciate
Thank
you.
Thank you,
spending
Wes.
an hour coming on and just doing our little podcast and stuff. I
Yeah,
hope you will take
of
up
course.
our offer to join us on yours, right?
Oh yeah, of
Uh,
course. I will have you guys on. I got a line of people wanting to be on there. So check out my podcast. I guess if you like hearing me talk, it's called Let's Save It for the Podcast. It's on pretty much any conceivable platform where you can find a podcast on.
Is it on iTunes?
Check that out if you want. I think it's on iTunes. It's on Apple Podcasts. It's on Spotify, Google Podcasts. I think even it's all over the place. So go check that out if you have an extra hour to waste of your time or two.
They're very, very good.
Yeah, I really appreciate you guys having me on here. And for anyone listening, thank you for listening to three teenage dudes talk about bullshit for a while.
We do have like 6 people who listen.
Oh, that's good.
Gotta appease them. So
yeah, well, unfortunately, I won't be listening to this episode when it airs. Because I was in it and I already know what happens. But I'll bump up your viewership numbers on the next one.
I appreciate it. Okay.
Well, thank you for joining us, Wes.
Yeah. Hey, I'd love to hop on anytime again. So just let me know, and don't go on a hiatus again. Keep talking to people. Like, honestly, no, really, jokes aside, keep doing this. Set a schedule to do it, man, because you'll love the rewarding feeling that you'll get from it.
Well, thank you.
It'll be great. You guys are doing a great thing. I hope to speak to you soon. And peace and love to you both and to anyone who's listening. I really appreciate this time that we've shared together.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone listening. Have a very fun Halloween.
All right. So now
on Halloween.
Yeah, now everybody's tuned out. Let's party.
Yeah.
What do we actually want to talk about?
Let's talk about